Welcome back to this video series, Skylar Player on Earth right here. Now, I did drop an overgrown grass. I wanted to include it in the video, but the footage isn't working, so I have to do it like this again. Now, with that being said, at the beginning of every video, I will go over my farming gear, whatever gear, in this case farming, and, show you what I have and what I get at the end of the video. Currently, I have a maxed T3 Blessed Turn sugarcane hoe with dedication 3 and cultivating 9. Other than that, 100% maxed. I have fermento armor, 3/4 fermento armor, granted boots, all bustling. I have maxed best reforged recommed equipment with green thumb 2 on half, green thumb 1 on the other half, with a farming fortune of that. Now, with this profile, I hope to only be farming for I hope to get farming 60 in the next 6 weeks. Now, I will farm for longer, I'd say. What about mining? All part of the plan. So, you get a lot more mining XP than you get farming XP per hour. I could probably get triple to 5, a lot more. I have to do the exact numbers. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the numbers for the setup I'm going to have, which is most likely going to be, hopefully maxed recommed jaded divine armor with the shittiest titanium drive in the game. Now, the hope is I get 1 to 1.5 million mining XP an hour, because then I'd only have to mine for about 100 hours, which would be about 2 weeks of mining, which would give me an extra 6 weeks to farm. Now, with that, the plan is figure out how many days I need to farm. Not in game. Not just is it 20. If it's 100 hours farming, that's 5 days. No, I'm talking like how many weeks is that gonna take? Now, probably about 2 to 3 weeks, possibly 4, which gives me an extra month to farm at minimum. Which means an extra few 100 million coins, which I need to afford the gear. I can't do that without the gear. The plan is get the money by farming. And the math is I need the Van armor with Jade and Amber perfects, ideally. Jaded, recommed. The recom and Jaded is the most important, and then 4 chambers with, I could easily do flawless. Perfect would add, what's that, 80 mil per piece, so a lot of money. But I'm keeping that set forever. By the way, if I sold around anything, it's going to be a duplicate set. So if you notice my e-chest, I have my first set that I bought myself with copper of my Locust equipment. I'm going to add those to the museum, and my recom, green thumb stuff, I don't plan on selling it. I just want the option to. I want to be able to. Which is why I will need to get a full set of fermento, which is good because I still need the boots, but I'll do that when I'm desperate for that body XP. I'll let that be. So, the goal is to be able to make about 15 million coins an hour farming cane, which would be very nice, which would, give me plenty of money to go from mining to foraging to combat, and then on. Now, I think I might want to do combat last, because yeah. You guys all know the plan from the first video. But yeah. Now, I do have spring break, which I hope I can stay home for, but no guarantees. But yeah, one thing I can do is, math, which is why visitors are a fucking costly mother shit. Now, the math is the minimum I'm paying a visitor is 200,000 coins. I will accept at minimum 2,000 visitors. 400 million coins of visitors. Quite a lot, I know. Now, any more I should still get one more overgrown grass at least. right? At least, because 1,500. Now, plus dedication could happen because I have like 50 from the barbarian or whatever the fuck. Yeah. No. So, yeah. So, money made from visitors is around 50 million coins, which only puts me down 350 mil, which is about half of what I estimate to make in the first 2 months. Now, I have hit almost the max farming wisdom. I can get about 2 more wisdom, one of them by having 100 million cultivating, the other one by paying 6 million coins. I wonder which one I'm gonna do. But yeah, so as you can see, I get about 30,000 crops, which is about 120,000 coins a minute. Oh, I wonder what that math is. 7.2 an hour, 7.2 million an hour, and I want to double that, which means I need double my farm. Okay, I don't think that's gonna I don't think that can. Okay. So, my friend said he'd make like 8 million an hour. It's like 15 million an hour farming carrots. Oh, well, I want to farm carrots. Well, once I get milestone 46, I have to stop. And then I guess I can farm carrots. But, yeah. Now. Yeah, now. That's basically all the profile stuff. Now I'm going to talk about this other YouTubers and Skyblock in general. So that's all the progression stuff I'm basically done talking about here. Now, a lot of you guys probably have heard of Yados. He is, from what I know, basically maxed farm Skyblock XP, which is wild. Max Skyblock level and Max Skyblock XP are two very different things, because getting all of the Skyblock XP in the game right now is extremely difficult, as you need to farm for hundreds, if not 1,000 plus hours. So, Max Skyblock level and Max Skyblock XP are two different things, but very similar. Now, with that being said, a few months ago I watched a video, and it was a video for progression, new profiles, and from what I remember from it, I have not watched it in a while, so please correct me if I'm wrong. It was a video on new players who haven't really played the game before. Now, I do appreciate Yado saying that this is for people who want to progress in the game, not have fun, they have fun by progressing in the game, not just trying to go their own way, do what they want to do, but people who just want to play the game and beat it as fast as possible, or max out as many, whatever, right? Now, I do like that he says that, because it does, help. It does, it's to put it very well. But I think, from what I remember, it was mostly targeted to people who've never really played the game before, when I believe, but it should, in my opinion, really be targeted to people doing a second, third, fourth, fifth playthrough. Especially people doing I think that video is best. That video is, I think the people who benefit the most from that video would have been people who did a playthrough for 5 to 3 years ago, and like if it was 5 years ago, maybe they got the magma rod first. If it's 4 years ago, they got Midas sword and they got superior. If it's 3 years ago, I don't think they got max superior with like a pigment blade. I think that video is best made for those people, because those are the people who this was, insider trading didn't really exist. None of the cheaters really exist, but they know how much you need to grind for this game. They know what to get themselves into. Now, with someone who's never played Skyblock, I think that a tutorial that says you should have 10 billion coins in for 1,000 hours. I started a great tutorial on my main profile. In 8,000 hours, I had 12 bill. Now, is thousands of those hours AFK? Yes. Does that still mean I am way below the average of 10 mil an hour? Yes. So I believe, again, y'all have said, for $1,000 you have 10 billion net worth. That's wild in my personal opinion. Even for players like me, and I'm just saying me as just a placeholder for someone played the game before, knows what they're doing, and can grind the hours required to grind. I personally think that's wild because, there's two ways that's gonna happen. They get mad lucky with RNGs. The only RNGs I've ever gotten are overgrown grasses and dedication 4. I've talked about maybe 5 overgrown grasses. But, and one dedication. I'll be that though. That does not, so I think that the video is a better video for people who play the game before, they know what they're doing, and they want to progress fast as they can. I think a better video, and possibly even video series for Yachty, could be doing smaller videos on certain parts of the game. Now, I don't know how much time he has, but the videos could be something like level 0 to 50 or net worth 0 to 100 mil, 0 to 50 mil. Different stages in the game. And, the videos, the first video could be, this is your professional scrapbook guide. No, this video series is not for people who just want to have fun with the game, but people who want to progress. Now, I think the videos should probably go something like this. Once you log into the scrapbook for the first time, you're going to want to unlock the bazaar by getting level 7. What is level 7? Well, in Skyblock, there's an EXP system where every 100 Skyblock EXP, you get 1 Skyblock level. At level 7, you unlock the bazaar. There are upwards of 400 levels, but don't worry about that for now. We just want to get to level 7. This should take you anywhere between 2 and 10 hours, depending on how fast you want to go and how well you know the game. Let's assume you're in the middle of the road, so it will take you 5 hours. Now, what you want to do is once you have the bazaar, you should have a few 100,000 coins from doing that. If not, you can get efficiency 5 gold shovel and go mine some enchanted sand. Once you have a few 100,000 coins, I recommend you buy the AOTE, as it is a very good sword that people use into the very end game. Not for damage, but the ability. But still good for damage at your position in the game. Now, you will need to buy a Raider's Axe, as there is a requirement in the combat skill. There are many skills in the game, ranging from combat, killing mobs, mining, and farming. You got fishing, alchemy, taming. Oh yeah, and taming is with pets. There are many good pets in the game. Right now, you should get a bee pet for a few thousand coins. And then he goes on to explain getting ender armor and a few early game money making methods, such as, fucking mining the nodes in the end. And the next video could be, welcome back. Now that once you've hit level 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever the fuck, 100 million net worth, whatever. Well, on stage 2. At this point, you will consider starting your main thing and what you want to do. In Skyblock, it's really much easier to start with one thing, finish it, and then branch out to other things, as one of them might be slow to start, but the other one to be fast at the beginning. Let's say you were to pick dungeons. You're going to want to you probably want to be a mage or berserker, and altars for later. I'd recommend a mage, as there are many good weapons, and the game almost feeds you to be in that path. Get a spirit scepter, whatever the fuck. Once you have entered the catacombs, you will die quite a lot, but the more higher cat levels, the easier it will be for you to survive. So keep on grinding. Now, what's next? And maybe you stop the video at floor 5, or you stop catacombs at floor 5. It could be, let's say you want to get into farming. With farming, once you hit level 5, there's an NPC on your island who goes by the name of Sam. Now, Sam runs the gardens. Why don't we go talk to Sam, and you can do his quest. From there, you can get whatever you need. You can unlock your first garden plot. At this point, I recommend buying something that has replenished from the AH. You can get the advanced garden hoe for a few 100,000 coins, and it'll make it greatly easier. Now, what I recommend is when you see one of these Jacobs contests, you participate in them as they will give you many coins and extra rewards, and will get you a feel for the game. Now, you want to pick one particular crop that you really want to go at. I'd recommend something early game for you, like maybe wheat, but then you can look into doing something more profitable, like cane or netherwort, or something that has more upwards, cheap, fortune a bit, something like that. You can also go into mining. With mining, it will be very start to beginning, and I don't recommend you start here, but you start somewhere else and get the coins, a few million, and jump into this. Alright, next video. Now that you are floor 4, let's say floor 5. I think floor 5 is probably a good goal. At this point, you really want to decide if you want to become a mage, and this is for the catacombs, a mage, ultra, or berserker. Now, if you want to be a mage, or berserker, or archer, or healer, or tank, but those are more late game, here's what you need to know. The archer class will most commonly be using the Juju bow until you can afford a Terminator. With the Juju bow, you need Enderman Slayer 5, and it costs about 10 million coins, but is a very good bow early and late game. And mid game. Now, if you want to be a berserker, I highly recommend you pick up a liver dagger, or if you're really balling on the coins, you can get yourself a Shadow Fury. Now, if you want to be with the 3/4 Shadow Assassin armor for both berserker and ultra class. Now, if you want to be a mage, I would recommend getting the Necromancer set with Loving on the chest plate and Necrotic on everything else, with a Spirit Scepter or a Glacial, whatever the max glacial size version is, if you're rolling in the coins. Now, you also want Wither Goggles or one of its previous lower tiers. Once you get floor 7, floor 6, and floor 7, your items will greatly explore, so there will be a video on that soon. If you run into foraging, at this point you probably have a decent amount of foraging. You're working towards crappie, you're probably working towards melon, squash, or fermento armor, or you already have it. Great for you. Now you're going to want to pick one crop that you really want to farm, and you want to focus on that one because that makes it much easier. One thing I'd also recommend is getting a nice supply of pet repellent, as it will make farming for longer easier with less interruptions or distractions. Now, from this point on, I'd recommend, if you want to get into, at this point on, you can farm for a little bit, get the money, and now you can move into whatever you want. Fishing, combat, catacombs, or mining as all other ways to get money and progress in the game. But if you want to keep farming, go ahead, as there's still much more you can do here. With mining, at this point in the game, you should have Sorrow, or if you're an Iron Man, then Glacial is fine. But now you should have decent stats, and you have started looking into the Crystal Hollows and what it can do for you, and you should have Hard the Mountain 5 to 6. Next video. Now that you have reached floors 4 and 6, now that you can do floor 6 and have a floor 7 completion, you now get the Wither sets. Now, for Archer and Berserker, that will be the Necron set with a cool price tag of a lot. I'll say the Archer price tag. But with that, it is a very good armor set that you will use until you get Crimson armor and a very high level of Crimson armor. So for now, you should spend some good money on a good set. Now, if you want to be a mage, it is Storm armor. Storm armor is a mage set with Shadow Wither Goggles will be your mage set. At this point for Berserker, a giant sword you could have, but you will start looking into a Valkyrie once you have the coins. Now, if you're an archer, a Juju bow is just fine, but make sure you really work on getting your catacomb level up so that you're not a Juju non. And also make sure you are very good at secrets. Now, with the mage, you can get a Midas Staff, and then for Midas Staff you want to get a Hyperion. Hyperion is very expensive, so we'll come back to that later. Now, at this point, we now introduce the other classes, Tank and Healer. Healer is just supposed to heal other people and then not die, which means just get healing items and decently tanky set. The tank needs the tankiest set out there. You're gonna want to watch a specific video on this, but not a lot of people play tank, but they are a very important part of dungeons, and you will not have a problem finding a party. At this point in the game, you might want to consider getting a perm party or a private party that is not using monkey finders, as that can be extremely infuriating when you find people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. At this point in the game, you are probably getting gold and platinum in your farming contest, which means you are making a lot of coins. At this point, you are getting close to getting a very high level in the farming level department. Now, you can keep farming and get close to max that out, or max it out, or you can move into other things with your newfound money. Now, if you don't have a lot of money, I would recommend you time how long you farm for 20 minutes and make sure you're really farming in that 20 minutes. There's no breaks, there's straight farming. And then you can do that for an hour long, but minimum about a 10-minute test. Now, compare that to how much money you're getting an hour, and maybe there's a problem with your farm where it's too hard to do it AFK, one-handed, and at this point I greatly recommend switching to one-handed farms, as they are much easier to farm for long periods of a time. With mining, you now are doing pretty good, probably in the low 50s high, almost maxing there. At this point in the game, it is wise for you to start considering on what else you want to do with the game. Of course, you could, if you make a considerable amount of money an hour, 15 to 20 mil, if not more, then you could consider this mining until you have the money either to buy a Terminator or a Hyperion. Ideally, both of them would be great, but one of them would do just fine, and then you can start moving into other parts of the game. Welcome back. Now that you can successfully and consistently do S pluses on the catacombs, 4-7, it's time for you to consider what you want to start doing next. You can continue running dungeons, as many people do, for the hope of dropping any one of the 3 scrolls or a Necron's handle. There are a few other drops, but no one really cares about those anymore, as they are such a low profit compared to what they used to be. Now, if you want to continue doing catacombs, you might want to start looking into the master mode floors, which are same thing, slightly small rooms, but mobs have 100x the health and much more damage. For these floors, I recommend you have a Hyperion or a Terminator. Now, with that, they are very expensive, so you might want to start either getting lucky on floor 7s, or look into taking the money you hopefully have from dungeons and go start mining or farming as a way to get the Hyperion. Not many players get Hyperions in terms off of just farming or mining for hours, but people do it. But many people will get the drops from doing dungeons, which is one thing you can keep on doing. At this point, you should be getting consistent plat and possibly some diamonds. You should always be getting diamonds with your pet hunter's bonus, and you should have every farming talisman in the game, and you should be working towards getting that farming 60 if you are still farming at this point in the game. Now, once you hit farming 60, it is, unless you really like farming, not much of an incentive to go explore the rest of the game. But at this point, I would probably get into the catacombs, as you have the money to do it, and it would be fun. Now, if you're making 15 mil an hour, and you've already farmed this much, I'd say get the coins to buy a nice Hyperion. About 2 billion coins will get you a really good Hyperion that will last you all of your dungeon needs. Now, you could also go into mining or other things, but I really recommend catacombs, as it is great for money, and it is fun. Now, if you're mining in this game, you should have mining 60, max heart of the mountain, and a few million powder of each. At this point in mining, I would stop mining and start looking towards other things to do. Catacombs, farming, combat, alchemy, dungeons, Kudra, are definitely things you can do. Kudra is also a great way to make money at this point, but it does require going to the Crimson Isles, which will need you to get a new armor set that is very expensive the farther it goes on. And those could be all on individual videos, right? Yeah. Have a good day.